There we go. Go back to the screen. Okay, so welcome. Okay, it's gone missing. Just bear with me. Sorry about this, Christina. Doesn't like me today. Hmm. Can you see that? Sorry, Festina. Can you see that's the screen there? So can you see
Yeah.
study skills? Yeah, fantastic. We got there. Okay, so today is all going to be about study skills preparing for an interview. So this is the learning outcome one. So this is to prepare appropriately for at least two different kinds of interviews. So this session we will discuss how you need to prepare for two different types of interviews, because there are different types of interviews that you can have. You may have face-to-face interview where you actually meet the employer in the room, human to human, or it may be over the telephone, or it may be over Zoom, like we're on Zoom now. So there's different ways to communicate in them different types of interviews. So that's what we're going to cover today. Does that make sense?
Okay.
And if I talk too fast, please just let me know and I will slow right down.
All right.
Is this speed okay? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So let's have a look. So to show that we can prepare appropriately for different types of interviews, I have looked at two common formats. So you've got a face-to-face interview and a telephone interview. So each one demands a slightly different approach. So I prepared for them in ways that suit the format and the expectations of the employer. So every employer may have different expectations, which is can be quite hard to plan for. Or generally, the different types of interviews, face to face and telephone interviews, the same kind of behavioural and skills will be and communication skills will be required. So we can explore that today, so you're prepared for your interview when you do have an interview, which I'm sure will be soon. Okay, so preparing for a face-to-face interview. So when I prepare for a face-to-face interview, we need to treat it like a formal meeting where both my communication and my overall presence matter. So we start with the basics. So research the organisation. I don't know if you've got a pad and a pen, actually, Festina. Do you want to write some notes, or are you
Yes,
okay?
I have a pen and a paper.
Amazing. See, you're ahead of the game. You got it. Um, so I would definitely give you the job. So if you put, I
So
would
you're
definitely,
giving me the job. Okay.
I'd definitely give you the job. You have a pen and paper.
Yes.
You're organised. See how you fought ahead. You fought ahead, or you're already anticipating what you'll need. You're organised, lady. Um, so I'd definitely say researching the organisation is good to note down. So once you know what the organisation is all about, so what are their values, what matters to them as an organisation, what the job role is, and any recent news or projects linked to the company. So the more research you do about the company, you'll know what they're about and what they appreciate and want from employers. So this can help to answer questions in a confident and informed way. I will also review the job description and pick out the skills and experiences the employer is clearly looking for, and then match them with examples from my own background. So, do you remember in the previous unit in the academic learning skills, we talked about spider diagrams where we kind of,
Yes. Yes.
yeah, a really good idea would be to say you come across a job role and you pick
Mm-hmm.
out the skills and the experiences that they want from you in the job.
Okay.
I would do a spider diagram and write down all the skills that they want from you, and then you could link. Then you would do like an arrow to those particular skills and connect that experience to what experience you've had. And it doesn't have to be just work experience, it could be life experience. You know, we all have different experiences in our life. We have lived experiences. Um, you know, I don't know what you've been through in your life so far. You don't know what I've been through in my life, but there might be things that I've done in my life that show that I'm strong, show that, you know, I know how to plan, to get from A to B. The behaviours and the strength that we have in our character, we can apply that to our CV. It's not just about the jobs that you've done; it's about the person that you are. And I think that's really important because you can have all the skills in the world, but if you don't have the right behaviours to to do the right thing, then it doesn't matter, does it? So never sell yourself short. Think about the things that give you strength. You're determined, organised, motivated. You don't let things stand in your way. I think that is really positive in an interview to put them skills across. So so to prepare for when it comes to actually having an interview, a good way to prepare is to use the STAR method. So have you heard of the STAR method, Christina?
No, no.
Okay, so if you write down maybe STAR method, and then you can maybe look into this after
Is it
here today.
Storm? STORM.
So STAR.
Ah, star.
Yes,
Okay, star.
star. Yeah, star in the
Star.
sky.
A star in the sky. Star method.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. Think about the star in the
Okay.
sky. Yeah. It's a guiding light to get you through the interview. It's positive. It's
Okay.
yeah. Um, so that I've used the STAR method in interviews because it helps us break down what is needed. So you've got the S, which is situation. So think about a time you've been in a situation where you've dealt with a difficult customer or not difficult, but a person who is having problems. So have you worked as a carer before, Festina?
Yes, I am. I'm okay.
Yeah, you're a carer, so every day you'll deal with situations with humans where it's difficult. So if you apply the STAR method in an interview, you could think about a situation as a carer when you've had to deal with a difficult situation with a patient or service user, etc. So you would apply the STAR method. So you've got a situation, you've got what happened, what was the problem, task, what did you do? What did you do to deal with the situation? Um, Action. So what actual thing did you? How did you respond to the task that you needed to do? And then the result, like what did you? Because of your action, you had a problem. You saw a solution. You took action. What was the result? So, can you think of any examples of that right now? If you can't, don't worry, but maybe have a think about it tonight.
Before the first one is situation.
Okay. Yeah.
What about the T?
So situation. So can you see this on the screen right now, Festina? It's on the screen. So if I zoom in, can you see that?
Um, is okay, the STAR method. Situation, task, action, and result. Okay.
Exactly. Perfect. That's it. Yeah. So yeah. So this is a really good method to use. Once you have your method, it's gold dust. You can take on the world. I think when we don't know how to do something, that's when we can become lost. So this is really good to remember in your head of a methodology to use in an interview. So yeah, what I'll do for tomorrow. Oh no, sorry, we're back at 5 o'clock today. Can you make?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna find a video for this, so it will help you make sense of it a bit more. So for face to face, so we'll move on now. So for face to face interview, your body language is just as important as what I say. So I practice sitting upright, which I should really be doing right now, which I'm not. So we sit upright, we maintain eye contact and keep my gestures calm and natural. I also check practical details like the interview location, travel time, and who I'm meeting. So prepare like planning, how do I get there? Can I get the bus? Can I get the tram? Can we get the train? How long it will take so you do get there on time. Another part of my preparation is what I wear. I choose formal professional clothing that fits the industry and shows that I am taking the interview seriously. I take a copy of my CV, the job description, a pen, and a notebook. I also prepare a few questions to ask at the end about the role, expectations of the team, because it shows that I'm engaged and thinking ahead. So it shows that you care as well. Like if you do your research and you already know what they want. It just shows that you actually want to be there. You're not just there for no reason. You want to be there and you want to do a good job. So by the time I walk into the interview, I have a clear picture of what the employer needs, examples ready to share, and the confidence that I look and sound prepared. So is that okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You've done this before anyway, so you know all this. But it's good to go over again.
No, I didn't know all these.
Okay.
It's only that when I'm going for interview,
Yeah.
though I prepare a bit,
Hmm.
but when I any question they ask, I try my best.
Of course.
But
Yeah.
in the end, it tend to be a talk about me,
Yeah.
myself. Yeah.
Yeah. That's essentially what an interview is, isn't it? I think that's fine, but I think the STAR method just gives a bit more organised examples.
Yeah.
You probably already do the STAR method, but don't know it when you're talking about yourself.
Yeah, I should think so.
Yeah,
I should think so.
exactly. Yeah. Um, but at least in the future, you can keep it really focused on these four areas: so situation, task, action, and result. Okay, so the next area is how to prepare for a telephone interview. So a telephone interview is a bit different because the employer can't see us. So everything relies on clarity, tone, and how well I communicate over the phone. So I focus more on voice and content rather than appearance. So to get ready, I find a quiet space with good reception and I test my phone beforehand. I make sure I won't be interrupted and keep water nearby in case my voice gets dry. I print out my CV and my job description so I can refer to them easily during the call. And I also keep a short list of points I want to highlight. Because the interviewer can't see me, I speak more clearly and slightly slower than normal. I sit upright rather than lying down because posture directly affects the way I sound. I prepare answers. So, yeah, a good way to prepare is to preempt and try to think about any questions they might ask that are relevant to the role. So then you've got examples then of this is what I've already done, and then you're able to communicate them clearly on the phone. I also prepare a short personal introduction because most telephone interviews start with "Tell me a bit about yourself." Um, yeah, so I think most any kind of interview I've ever had over the phone is always kind of starts with that question. So tell me a bit about yourself. So it's good to have that in your mind before the telephone call. Another part of my preparation is practicing how to sound positive and confident without relying on body language. Smiling while speaking actually changes my tone, so I do that during the call to make myself sound more energetic. So I'm going to practice this for the next sentence because I wasn't smiling then, and maybe you'll hear the change. um, so when the interview is finished, I note down anything important that was mentioned, and I follow up with a short thank you email to show professionalism. So yeah, so does that make sense, Festina?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I do tend to, in the past, I've written a thank you email to any interview that I've had, and it just shows that you're keen and you're passionate and you want to carry on the communication. So be confident because it does help a lot, and it's not easy or it's not always easy to be confident. but just to make an effort and to try shows the employer a lot. And you do, I know, I know from the times we've spoken, I can tell that you work very hard, so that does shine through already. So the next part is around producing a structured CV that identifies own skills, experience, and/or qualifications. So this is a CV. So have you got a CV at the moment, Festina?
No, not
Okay,
yet.
okay.
I'll
Well,
make one.
yeah. Well, you
Mhm.
this I'd really recommend. At the end of this, I'll go over a few things that can help you to make a CV. But I'll go over
Okay.
this first, yeah. So when you do a CV, you need at the top your name, your home address, your telephone number, and email address. And then
Mm.
you have your name. And then if you want a picture, you don't have to have a picture. I've done that in the past. Sometimes I haven't done it. It depends on the job role. And I think it's very important to remember to tailor your CV dependent on what the job is. So you may have to go back into your CV to tailor your CV to suit the particular job role. So you'd have your address details, your name, etc. And then you'd have a section personal profile, which would detail information about yourself. So here's an example. I'm a motivated and reliable individual with a positive attitude towards working and learning. I enjoy taking responsibility, solving problems, and working with others to achieve clear goals. I have experience in customer service, teamwork, and completing tasks to deadlines. So the next bit is I'm confident communicating with people at different levels. So when we say at different levels, we can mean, I can talk to people in the shop, I can speak to people on the phone in the bank, at different people, at different managers, people on the shop floor. You're able to speak with different types of people. Um, so I adapt well to new situations and I'm keen to take on opportunities where I can grow and contribute. So that's the personal profile section of a CV. So that would just be a short paragraph, well, that's 2 paragraphs there. I'd say that's just enough um, information for the personal profile section. And then you'd have a section around your key skills. So this is broken down. I think there's like 5 or 6 bullet points. So you just put what your main skills are. So on here we've got strong communication skills, both verbal and written. Good teamwork and the ability to work independently when needed. Time management and the ability to prioritise tasks effectively. Confident using IT, so Microsoft Office, email, and online systems. Problem solving and decision making skills. Reliable, organised, and quick to learn new tasks. And then you'd have a section for your work experience. So the work experience section should outline any jobs that you've had, and it should usually be broken down. I usually date back my jobs for like the past maybe 5 or 6 years. It just depends on what the job is. You obviously give examples of job roles where you think that experience will match the job you're applying for. So on here, the work experience, this is an example, customer service assistant. So then you'd put the company name and the location. You'd put the dates that you worked there, and then you'd put into bullet points underneath what your roles, what your responsibilities were within that job. So on this one, we have assisted customers with inquiries, maintained and tidy and organised work area to support a positive customer experience, handled transactions accurately using till systems, worked as part of a team to meet daily targets and support colleagues, and communicated clearly with customers and resolved issues calmly. And the next one is just below. So that's an example, another example. So they put sales or retail assistant, and then they put the company name, the location and the dates. So they've put here supported customers in selecting products and provided product information, restocked shelves and ensured items were displayed correctly, followed company procedures and health and safety guidelines, demonstrated strong teamwork and reliability during busy periods. And then the next section would be your education and qualifications. So you'd put the school that you attended, any qualifications that you got, current study. So, for example, you could put the current course that you're doing right now on there with UK Versity. So you're doing, is it the radiography course you're doing, isn't it?
Yes, please. Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah, so you could put that on there, on that section. And then any additional achievements, so any awards that you've received, any online courses, any certificates from training programs, any achievements related to leadership, communication, or teamwork. And have you done? You would have done training to be a carer, wouldn't you, Festina?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, so safeguarding, etc. So you can put all that on there as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, so you've got a lot of experience already. Okay. Okay, so the next section is all around completing diagnostic tests in numeracy and literacy. Have you done this before,
Which
Christina?
one? Diagnosis test.
Yeah,
What is it about?
it's
Numeracy diagnostic test.
yeah, numeracy and literacy.
Um, I did and is it NCFE level 2?
Level
Is
two.
it same as this one?
I'm not sure, but I'll double check.
Yes, I've done something like this with UK Varsity or
Okay.
NCFE level 2,
Okay.
and I've done English too, level
Right.
2.
Yeah, it probably is maybe the same or
Yes,
similar.
I think
So
so.
yeah, so you could talk about that on your CV as well.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, anything that you've done that shows that you've learned and you've got basic, you've got numeracy and literacy skills in English, which is fantastic. I won't go over that bit because I'm not sure it's relevant to this. Um,
Um, so if you're applying for any job, is it really necessary or important to add the numeracy?
I think so. This is a lot of detail here. I don't think you'd put all of this in a CV because it's
Mm.
a lot of detail. I think it just wants you to be aware of how it's important maybe to talk about it a little bit in your CV. So I think it just shows. So from the NCF, is it the NCFE level two?
Yeah, NCFA.
Yeah. So that would demonstrate all the different things, the different behaviours and skills you've learned from doing that. So with the numeracy diagnostic test, it shows um, that you're a problem solver. You can answer questions on numeracy without a calculator. So on this bit it says, so while working through the questions, I noticed I was confident with whole number calculations. Also working with percentages. So the test can also show how I can improve. So it just basically is an example of how those, for example, the NCFE that you'd completed shows that you've been through, you have the ability to learn, that you know how to learn, you know how to break down information, you've been through tests, so that's all good stuff to put on your CV because it shows that you're a learner, that you learn, you know how to apply learning skills, etc. So does that make sense?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So I also completed an online literacy diagnostic test assessing reading, comprehension, spelling, grammar, and sentence structure. The test included short reading passages followed by this is a literacy test. Do you remember doing this bit? Did you do a literacy test at all?
Yes, we did. We did grammar.
Yeah. Oh,
We
brilliant.
did.
Yeah. Yeah. So this,
Yes, we did.
yeah,
And then we did we did a lot.
yeah,
Um
yeah,
what is it? It's like I've forgotten now. But I've not forgotten now. It's like
yeah, yeah.
analyzing passages and text.
Uh, right.
We did a lot.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
Mm,
So you've got so much like experience learning already.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I think a CV is a really good opportunity to show what you can do and everything that you have done. Like see it as your a bit of a a story to your life and all the things that you've achieved. It's a really good opportunity to show
Mm,
what you can do and everything that you've learned. So for this bit, it says my strongest area was reading comprehension. I was able to identify the main idea of each passage, understand the writer's intention, and infer meaning from context. I also performed well on vocabulary questions and choosing the correct spelling. The test highlighted that I sometimes rushed through grammar questions, especially those involving punctuation such as commas, apostrophes, and capital letters. I
All
also,
this we did. We did all these things.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
we did comprehension. We did those.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't need, on a CV, you don't need to write all of this, but
Mm,
maybe just a point to say, you've got experience of understanding how to do all of this. You understand comprehension, spelling, and why grammar is important. It just shows that you have the ability to learn, which is great. So, to summarise, completing both the diagnostic tests gave me a clear picture of my current abilities. Numeracy results showed consistent strengths with basic calculations and percentages, while literacy results highlighted strong comprehension and vocabulary. Both tests also identified areas where I can continue developing, which will help me improve my performance in future learning and employment settings. So there's some really good examples that you can put in your CV right there.
okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep. Hmm. Mm,
So this is some referencing that was used throughout this unit information. So if you wanted to have a look into any of these different books, so these may help for job interviews, personal development for employability, and this will be on Moodle.
Is it necessary to put references when writing your CVs?
No, no, no. This is just to help you.
Okay, as
Yeah,
a
this is
guideline.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So here's that's some examples. And then there will be further examples, ebooks and journals on Moodle for this unit and any further reading. Um, so any questions, you can email the learner work email address and myself. You still have my email address, Christina.
Yeah. Is it
Um,
Emma Honeyford uh, at ukvarsity.com?
that's right. Yeah, I'm actually. Yeah, I just want to. I'm sure it's just Emma at ukvarsity.co.uk.
Just Emma.
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay.
And again, it's 2 weeks. The submission for this unit is 2 weeks after we've completed all the units.
Okay.
Um, and then I'm just going to go back to. Can you still see my screen?
Yes, please.
Hmm. So just so you know, the different learning outcomes. So for number one, it's prepare appropriately for at least two different types of interviews. So the assessment criteria. So this is what you'll be assessed on, is to 1.1, produce a structured CV that identifies own skills, experience and or qualifications, or complete a biographical questionnaire. 1.2 is to complete at least one diagnostic test in both numeracy and literacy. So it's good to know. And then the second part, we'll go over that next for the next unit, which will be later on this afternoon. So are you in work today, Festina?
No,
Okay.
I'm
So
at home.
yeah, if you do have time today, maybe have a look for examples of CVs on the internet.
Okay.
Maybe look at if you're a carer, look for carers examples of CVs, so you can see different examples that might help you. Just have a look, have a read of those, and then also maybe look at one sec. Yeah, maybe have a look at any. If you go onto YouTube, look for STAR examples of STAR interview technique. Does that make sense?
Okay.
I can have a little look for one now, or would you prefer to have a look when we finish?
We can look at one now,
Yeah,
then later
yeah,
I'll look for the rest.
yeah.
So you
Okay.
said I should look for STAR interview technique and then examples of CVs
Yeah, brilliant. I'm just gonna have.
and with regards to care.
Yeah, I think it doesn't have to be care, but I think because that's what you do, it'd be really good. It'd be good for you to understand what's important to talk about.
Okay.
But you can look at any example of CVs. It's up
Any
to
other example? Okay. Thank
you.
you.
Yeah. Hmm. Okay, so I will show you an example. I'm just going to share the screen again. It's come off for some reason. I don't know that one. Sorry. Oh gosh. Okay, so here's an example of somebody that's used.
So number one, talk us through how you've worked as a team in your role. This is a very beautiful question to answer using the STAR method. Now, STAR method stands for the situation, task, action, and result or reflection. And I'll show you how to answer this question using the STAR method with this example. So the question again is, talk us through how you've worked as a team in your role. Thank you very much for that question. Teamwork is something that I rely on daily in my role. I remember one shift where our team was short-staffed and one of my colleagues was struggling to keep up with their patients' appointments. The workload was heavier than usual and there was a risk that the patient care could be affected if we did not work together. I knew that my responsibility in this situation was to assist the colleague to help manage the patient's appointments and to ensure that the clinic operations ran smoothly despite being short-staffed. So I proceeded to take proactive steps to support my colleague by preparing the rooms, organizing patient files, and managing some of their workload in addition to mine. This allowed my colleague who was, really struggling to focus on priority tasks, such as actually attending to the patients and administering care. We maintained constant communication throughout the shifts to make sure that everything was being handled, and I made sure to stay updated on any changes or any urgent matters that arose. And so by doing this, we were able to collaborate effectively to manage the task without compromising on the quality of care that our patients received on that day. And so as a result of this teamwork, we were able to stay on track with the day's appointments and ensure that all the patients received the care that they needed in good time. By the end of the shift, we were able to really work effectively without any significant delay in patients' waiting times, and the workflow just overall remains smooth despite the staffing challenges. So number 1, talk us through how you've worked as.
Did you see that okay, Festina?
I did, but it's like it's too much echo in the voice.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what I will do is I will let me. I'm just going to end the recording.